It's been 6 games in the Western Conference Finals and 47 years, 47 long years, and ladies and gentlemen, finally, the Milwaukee Bucks have advanced to the NBA Finals. We might have to repeat that again because it's been one hell of a freakish season, and we are finally going to the NBA Finals. And this year, it's the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks that are going to Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Tuesday night. The Bucks didn't even need their 2-time MVP winner, Giannis Antetokounmpo, to secure their place at the Finals. Giannis was probably watching with a smile on his face from the bench after missing his second straight game due to a knee injury as Middleton, Holiday, and company carried their team into the Finals in a commanding fashion. Drew Holiday was on fire here, scoring 27 points, while 4 other players scored double figures. The Hawks had Trae Young, the man who has been their go-to guy all season on the court, but he struggled in the game. After he himself missed the previous 2 games with a bruised foot, Young wasn't at his best, and it was evident on the pitch as he missed all 6 of his 3-point attempts and shooting just 4 of 16. There are plenty of moments in the game to point to, as well as fans' reaction to the Bucks' 118-107 win over the Atlanta Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals on Saturday night. Before we get into the video, if you want to win a PS5 with NBA 2K21 and Madden NFL 21 included, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. The last time Milwaukee went to the NBA Finals, their leading scorer was none other than 26-year-old center Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was in the 1973-74 season, and the Bucks swept the Chicago Bulls in the Western Conference Finals before later going on to lose to the Boston Celtics in 7 games. It's been nearly half a century since then, and now the Milwaukee Bucks will get another proper shot at the NBA title. And just by looking at this celebration, you can tell what it means to the Bucks. Despite losing their best player this season, Giannis Antetokounmpo, to a knee injury, the Bucks still went on to comfortably win the game. Speaking on how they've coped with the 2-time MVP player, Pat Connaughton said, "One of the biggest things we did the last 2 games was play for him. We do have a true team." The Hawks, on the other hand, were with their main man, Trae Young, who was included in the Hawks lineup for Saturday's game. But he couldn't put up the same 42 points performance he did in a previous game against the Bucks. Instead, he struggled all night to get any game going. On the other hand of things, it's been an incredible journey for the Bucks, who have gone to become one of the best teams in the league ever since Giannis Antetokounmpo took his game to new heights and established himself as a 2-time MVP player. Although this was mostly in the regular, as they could not transfer their success to the offseason. They finished with the best record in the Eastern Conference, and this season, they've earned the number 3 seed. The only problem was that once it reached the playoffs, things would begin to fall apart. In 2019, for instance, the Bucks lost to the Toronto Raptors, who crashed them out of the Eastern Conference Finals. A year later, the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Miami Heat in an embarrassing fashion. And the loss, pundits and people alike started to ask questions about this Bucks team and their future, especially since Giannis' free agency was somewhere around the corner. Fast forward to a year later, and things have changed massively for the Bucks and its fans. Not only have they reached the finals since 1974, they've also tied Giannis to a new contract. They also got revenge on Miami Heat, outlasted Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets in the second round, and they eliminated the Hawks in the finals despite an injury to Giannis in the second round on their journey to the finals. Of course, there have been shaky moments this season where it seemed like their time in the season was up, but they fought over and over again and eventually came out on top. It's a finals no one could have predicted, as the 2 finalists are teams who have punched above their weight this season. It doesn't matter now how they got there or whatever means you have in mind. The thing is, the Bucks are going to the finals. Speaking after the game, Drew Holiday had this to say: "As a little kid, everyone wanted to be a part of this chance to go to the finals." In the first half of the game, both teams initially struggled to find the range. Then came the third quarter, and the Bucks couldn't miss a shot, especially Middleton. Middleton, who has been with the Bucks for 8 years and had seen it all with the franchise, such as the 15-win season to playoff failures, was once again there on Saturday night to make sure there was no repeat of such this time, at least not on his watch. After a near triple-double in Game 5, he didn't have one of the greatest starts in Game 6 and mainly struggled. By the end of the second quarter, he had more turnovers than points. He probably realized he needed to be playing better as he came out by the third quarter to deliver one of the best quarters in his career. During the third quarter, the Atlanta Hawks actually had a chance for their first lead of the game when Young's behind the pass gave Kevin Huerter an open look from 3-point range. The shot rimmed out, and Middleton would score the next 13 points to suddenly push the Bucks' edge to 60-45. Young then broke up the one-man onslaught of Middleton, but Middleton was on fire and responded back with a 3-pointer, giving him 16 straight Milwaukee points. By the end of the third quarter, Middleton, who had been average in his first 2 quarters, was now on 23 points, nearly outscoring the whole Hawks team all by himself. At that time, the whole Atlanta team had only 29 points as the Milwaukee Bucks headed to the final quarter with a commanding 19-point lead. Speaking on Middleton's performance, Kendrick Perkins thinks Middleton is Bruce Wayne in a tweet that reads, "I'll keep it short and to the point, but whether home or on the road, Batman is gonna do what he does, and Chris Middleton, aka Bruce Wayne, handled his business. See you in the finals. Carry the hell on." It was a free-scoring third quarter as the Milwaukee Bucks hit 44 points in a ridiculously free-scoring term. Middleton had this to say after the end of the match. "My teammates and my coaches, they told me to keep being aggressive. I love it. Each one of these guys, they work every single day. Everybody stays ready. Everybody stays locked in. We all play for each other, and that's all you can ask for." With Middleton leading the way, the Bucks charged in and built a commanding 22-point lead. By the end of the game, Middleton had a game-high 32 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. One of Middleton's highlights in the game, perhaps one of his highlights of this season, has got to be his spin move that New Orleans Pelicans player Josh Hart couldn't help but talk about, posting a meme and tweeting, "Sheesh." Cam Reddish, who had missed much of the season with an Achilles injury, was another player who impressed on Saturday night after coming off the bench to give the Hawks a very much needed spark. Cam came on and went ahead to score 21 points, making 6 of his attempted three-pointers as the Hawks sliced a 22-point lead down to 6 in the closing minutes. Jamal Crawford was obviously impressed with Cam's performance here that he made a prediction that each of us should keep in mind. Cam Reddish will be a star one day. Don't forget to comment below if you agree with Jamal. Former NBA player Rashad Phillips was also clearly impressed with Cam's performance, and he also made an observation, saying, "Cam Reddish has that Tracy McGrady fabric. See y'all next season." Well, what do you think about that? Do you agree? Well, we think the man might have a point. This one is from American sports columnist, commentator, and television personality, Skip Bayless, and it reads, "The Bucks just got to the NBA Finals by winning games 5 and 6 without Giannis." Well, no Giannis, no problem. Former Australian basketball player Andrew Bogut, who played for the Bucks during his rookie season, was obviously cheering his former team on as they progressed to the finals as he left the caption, "Fear the Deer." This one is from Nigerian-American basketball player Jordan Nwora, and it says, "4 more, #Bucks in 6, #Fear the Deer." It's been an incredible journey for the Bucks, who took us back to the club's early years when the Milwaukee Bucks quickly became the center of the NBA world with a team led by 2 of the greatest players to ever play in the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson. The 2 players later led the Bucks to their first and only NBA title in 1971. Although they would return to the finals in '74, they lost to the Boston Celtics in a thrilling 7-game series. Robertson retired after that season, and a year later, Abdul-Jabbar moved to the Los Angeles Lakers, ending the Bucks' run as a glamour franchise. And after almost half a century, they're back in the finals with a new group of stars. And they've proven in the last 2 games that they are more than the Greek Freak. By some miracle, the Greek Freak avoided suffering a major injury when he violently hyperextended his knee in Game 4. Although Giannis avoided the worst, he would not be able to play again for the rest of the series, which meant that it was time for the supporting cast to step up and perform. And both Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton came to the party despite all the pressure mounted on them. You couldn't have asked for a better response from both players as they each gave some brilliant back-to-back performances in the biggest games of their lives. Drew Holiday in particular showed up for this game. It's worth mentioning that the Bucks gave up multiple players and first-round picks to acquire Holiday from the New Orleans Pelicans because they believed he could help them to a title. And while he was a terrific player in the regular season, his inconsistent performances early in the playoffs raised some questions about whether he was going to be the difference the team believed they were acquiring. However, with a performance like that in Game 6, those questions have been put to rest. In both Game 5 and 6, he fell just short of a triple-double. That's while also providing excellent defense across multiple positions. Considering the circumstances and the stakes of his game, there's an argument that Drew Holiday gave the best performance of his career on Saturday night. I mean, just take a look at this move. Holiday would finish the game with 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. If that wasn't enough, the man also led the Bucks in scoring during the 4th quarter. And we can't forget about that incredible layup with just over 3 minutes left that stopped the Hawks' big run and essentially sealed the win for the Bucks. Speaking about the performances of both Middleton and Holiday, Milwaukee coach Mike Budenholzer, who previously coached the Hawks, said, "These guys have put the work in all year. They deserve to go to the finals." With no news yet about whether Giannis will be able to feature in the final series of the NBA season starting on Tuesday night, both Middleton and Holiday will need to continue with this kind of form, especially if they want to win the NBA championship for the first time since 1971.
You've been putting the work in all year to be prepared for tonight, to be prepared for where we're going, the NBA Finals.
Despite a disappointing finish to what has been a great run, the Hawks have stamped themselves as a future force with a young group that knocked off top-seeded Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks to surprisingly go to the conference finals for only the second time with Trae Young leading the way. Trae Young, who seemed tentative and out of sorts during the majority of the game after only returning from an injury, said,
"We all understand that this is just the beginning, and I mean it's fun. We have the city excited, and we want to keep it this way."
Speaking on if his injury affected his game, he said, "I just wanted to battle and try to fight through it as much as I could, try to be out there for my team. But it was definitely frustrating not being healthy and not being able to give my full 100%. So that's it, guys. The NBA Finals are set, and it will be the Phoenix Suns taking on the Milwaukee Bucks in what seems to be an interesting matchup. Comment below to let us know your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe for more. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another one of our videos. We'll see you next time, Latest Hoops fans. Until then, keep shooting your shot.
This is history. This is the Suns versus the Bucks. This is the NBA Finals. That's game.